Hello, Morongo Basin and listeners around the world online at Z107.7fm.com. Here is the Z107.7 local news for Wednesday, January 10th, 2024. For the third year in a row, visitation to the Joshua Tree National Park has topped 3 million, a number felt by anyone trying to enter the West Gate on a busy spring weekend. National Park Superintendent Jane Rogers reported the number in the latest park newsletter, where she also says relief is coming for those affected most by those busy times. Online news editor Robert Hayden takes it from here.
The West Gate entrance to the National Park is by far the most popular of the three. The North Gate in 29 Palms can sometimes be comparatively empty to the one in Joshua Tree, despite signs on Highway 62 urging visitors to drive just a little further to avoid the massive backups that can occur on any sunny and warm weekend. It's not just the park visitors that feel the pain of a slow-moving line. Quail Springs Road residents have to contend with traffic backups that not only impede their travel, but also becomes a safety issue if emergency services are needed at any address on the two-lane road. Joshua Tree National Park Superintendent Jane Rogers says that a contract has been awarded for a redesigned West Gate, which could take 9 months to a year to complete once construction starts. Rogers previously spoke about the West Gate entrance last year at a Mojave Desert Land Trust panel on tourism and its effects on the Morongo Basin. At that panel, she said the new West Gate would move a third to a half mile inside the park and double the inbound and outbound lanes to 2 each. The current West Gate will remain open during construction of the new one. A construction date and project details will be released on the National Park's website, and we'll update you when they do. Reporting for Z107.7 News, I'm Robert Hayden.
Last night's meeting of the 29 Palms City Council featured a presentation by the fire chief, a new appointment to the Public Arts Advisory Council, and the long-awaited creation of a youth council. Reporter Heather Clisby was there.
The 29 Palms City Council kicked off 2024 with an overall positive meeting that began with a presentation by Fire Chief Daniel Muncy on the impact of FP5, an annual assessment fee that helps fund fire and rescue services as well as fire stations themselves. The March 5th ballot will include Measure W that would repeal this tax, so Muncy made a case for keeping FP5 in place, noting that 19% of County Fire's operating budget comes from this fee. An item on the consent calendar was removed for further discussion, specifically the San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department's purchase of an off-road vehicle to help enforce off-roading laws. Captain Robert Warwick emphasized that the $46,000 purchase would be funded by the 29 Palms Local Law Enforcement Supplemental Account.
Our regular patrol vehicles don't do a very good job catching up to them, and it's not safe to do so. So we just trained several of our deputy sheriffs here locally, and we need vehicles to put them in to go out and do that education and enforcement.
Anna Stump, chair of the Public Arts Advisory Committee, approached the council with a recommended appointee, Sarah M. Lyons, to replace choreographer Ryan Heffington. Council approved the recommendation and welcomed Lyons to the PAC. Recreation Division Manager Carrie Minitry presented the plan for a youth council, an advisory body of local youth, likely middle and high schoolers, that would provide input and ideas to the council regarding events, community service projects, and other initiatives. After swiftly approving the program, Mayor Stephen Bilderain and the council asked Minitry if she could complete the first 3 items on the to-do list by the next council meeting on January 23rd. Minitry confirmed, "I'm on it." Reporting for Z107.7, I'm Heather Clisby.
A retirement mobile home community in Yucca Valley that had previously proposed a change to all ages was the topic at a special meeting of the town council yesterday. Online news editor Robert Hayden was there and joins us with this report.
At a special meeting of the Yucca Valley Town Council, the Gates of Spain mobile home community was the main topic. The 55 and older seniors-only park was in the middle of a 45-day moratorium on a proposed change to an all-ages park. The urgency ordinance was approaching the expiration, and the law allowed an additional extension of nearly 11 months if passed. However, early in public comment, Will Proaska, who manages the mobile home park, announced that the owners will no longer seek a change in the park's status.
And I'm just here to let you guys know, and as well as let all the residents that are here know, it will remain the 55 and older park that you guys have known for decades and that you've become comfortable with living in, and it's going to be a safe space for all of my residents and for any future residents that are 55 and older. So thank you.
After the announcements, residents continue to offer support to extending the moratorium, with some community members being skeptical but hopeful that what the Gates of Spain owners say is true, with one commenter asking the council if what was announced was legally binding. The motion to preserve the status quo of the park for almost the entirety of 2024 was swiftly passed, with all voting council members agreeing that the extra time granted by the ordinance will allow the town of Yucca Valley to consider possible new zoning regulations for mobile home parks or retirement communities for those on a fixed income. The Gates of Spain is one of 6 age-restricted mobile home parks in Yucca Valley. Reporting for Z107.7 News, I'm Robert Hayden.
At last night's meeting of the Yucca Valley Planning Commission, town staff provided an update to the commission on short-term vacation rentals and offered a look ahead at the town's major projects for the year. As part of the town's annual review of the short-term vacation rental permit, which caps vacation rentals at 10% of the town's housing supply, town staff provided the Planning Commission current data on short-term vacation rentals in Yucca Valley. The 10% cap was passed again for 2024, and a report indicated that complaints among the 670 permitted vacation rentals, there were only a total of 60 noise complaints in 2023. Deputy Town Manager Shane Stuckel suggested that because of the low number of complaints, the current 2-year permit for short-term vacation rentals could be extended to a 3- or 5-year permit. The council also looked ahead at major public works projects, including the Aquatic Center, planned for Brem Park, which is expected to receive construction bids in February, and new pickleball courts, which this week received additional funding from San Bernardino County. An additional $1.6 million was approved by the County Board of Supervisors at their Tuesday meeting and will be used to develop and construct a pickleball court complex. The project is likely to be developed at the community center, though design of the project is in extremely early stages. The commission also received a look at upcoming town businesses, including the current status of new restaurants. Casa del Tequila is expected to be considered at the next meeting of the Planning Commission. The Planning Commission also had a conversation about illegal street vending in town. Z107.7 will have a deeper look at that conversation later this week. The Morongo Unified School District Board of Trustees held their regular 6 p.m. meeting last night at Joshua Tree Elementary. Assignment reporter Gabriel Hart was in attendance and has the meeting's recap for us today.
The meeting began with the board presenting a certificate of appreciation to behavioral instructional assistant Satori Mark for her exceptional work at Condor Elementary and 29 Palms Junior High. Assistant Superintendent of Instructional Services Amy Woods recognized Andrea Tene Meza of 29 Palms High and Joseph Natzel of Yucca Valley High for achieving the Seal of Biliteracy given to students who have studied and attained proficiency in 2 or more languages by high school graduation. Assistant Superintendent of Human Resources Stacy Smalling introduced former Assistant Principal of 29 Palms High, Christy Mayan Snyder, to the board to announce she will be transitioning to a principal of Landers Elementary. While only one high school student representative currently reports to the board on an alternating monthly basis between Yucca Valley, 29 Palms, and Black Rock High Schools, the board made a motion to start inviting all 3 representatives to each monthly meeting, depending on students' availability. The motion passed 5-0. The board also passed the Memorandum of Understanding for a new speech-language pathology assistant, as well as all changes to MUSD salary schedules and the board's contract addendums. Lastly, Superintendent Dr. Vargas presented a resolution to proclaim January 2024 as School Board Recognition Month. Reporting for Z107.7, this is assignment reporter Gabriel Hart.
Yucca Valley's High Desert Water District holds its regular board meeting at 4 p.m. today. Reporter Mike Lipsitz joins us with a Wednesday water roundup.
At the High Desert Water District, directors are expected to authorize the general manager to exercise a contract for as-needed engineering services. The board is also expected to accept an $83,000 bid for pipeline materials. And in other business, directors will receive their 2024 committee assignments. Tonight's meeting takes place at the district office on the highway at Inca Trail in Yucca Valley. The public is welcome to attend in person or remotely. Instructions for remote attendance may be found with this story at Z107.7fm.com. Reporting for Z107.7 News, this is Mike Lipsitz.
The Yucca Valley Airport District Board of Directors meets in regular session tonight. On their agenda is a report from the treasurer, along with discussions about website issues, job openings for airport maintenance and administrative assistant positions, and the painting of the East Gate. Tonight's meeting is open to the public and begins at 6:30 p.m. at the Yucca Valley Community Center. The Morongo Valley Community Services District Board of Directors will be holding a special meeting tonight at 6 p.m. in Covington Park's multipurpose room. Here's assignment reporter Gabriel Hart with a look at the meeting's agenda.
For the meeting's agenda, the board will use the time to have an open discussion regarding revenue possibilities for the MVCSD, continuing from the discussion between the board and attendees at last month's regular meeting. Reporting for Z107.7, this is assignment reporter Gabriel Hart.
Dining in the high desert has never been better, and for the second year in a row, eating at some of your favorite restaurants can now make a positive impact on our national park. The first ever Love Your Park High Desert Food Tour in 2023 was a huge success, and the event is returning bigger than ever for 2024. Announced today by the Joshua Tree National Park Association, the 2024 version of the event raises money through local restaurants and watering holes. By ordering a specialty food or drink item from a participating restaurant, a portion of your purchase will be donated to the Joshua Tree National Park Association to fund programs in Joshua Tree National Park. This year's event runs from February 10th through February 18th. The list of participating businesses and their menu items is still being finalized, but mark your calendar for this year's fundraising event and a finale party at the Tiny Pony Tavern in Yucca Valley. Z107.7 and the Joshua Tree Voice are media sponsors of this event. Getting records in the high desert will be easier in 2024 beginning today. San Bernardino County is bringing their mobile assessor recorder office to Joshua Tree today. Called the ARC Mobile Unit, the program will be offering birth, death, and marriage certificates, marriage licenses and ceremonies, notary public filings, and more. The ARC Mobile Unit will be providing service outside of the Bob Burke Government Center on the second and fourth Wednesday of every month between the hours of 9:30 a.m. to 3 p.m. And finally, as the weather gets colder, the 29 Palms United Methodist Church continues to provide coats to high desert residents in need. The church is open on Wednesdays from 9 a.m. to noon and is located at 6250 Mesquite Springs Road in 29 Palms, next to the high school. If you have a coat in good condition, please consider donating it to the church. The church thanks everyone who has donated coats so far, and their pantry is also open today if you are in need of food. That's our local news. Hear local news 7 times a day, 7 days a week at 7, 8, 9, noon, 4, 5, and 6. Reporting for the Morongo Basin News Leader, the award-winning Z107.7 Local News, I'm Jeff Harmetz.